As somebody who owns a cleaning business, I always buy my cleaners in bulk. But as somebody who's been on YouTube for like 10 years now on different channels, I know a thing or two about Dollar Tree. We used to come here all the time. I decided to go back and buy a handful of cleaners to test them out. I bought quite a few, but you're only going to see 3 in this video because I put them through thorough testing. I looked up and researched every single ingredient on the back of these containers. I tested them multiple times before I even thought about making this video. So I'm going to share what I found out and if I would actually add these to my list of cleaning products that I professionally clean with, or if I would not. As you can see, my Dollar Tree was just, it's been a mess, my Dollar Trees. That's why I stopped going there. But I don't know. It seems like they're trying to get their stuff together. So I picked up 3 cleaners, and you might hear a little bit of movement because I do have the cleaners with me. I want to have them in my hand to be able to reference them. I picked up Ajax, an all-purpose cleaner, and a carpet refresher. We're going to start with the Ajax because I really thoroughly love this Ajax. I didn't even notice I've been using Ajax dish soap this whole time. I normally pick whatever is the cheapest at the grocery store, and it is normally the cheapest. So I am familiar with this brand besides just this cleaner. So we're going to start with this cleaner first. They come in many different scents. I picked up the lime with the baking soda because I like baking soda in some of my cleaners. This is just a multi-purpose cleaner. On the back it says powerful cleaning, great value, and satisfaction guaranteed. I paid $1.25 for this. So for floors, you're supposed to mix 1/4 cup in a gallon of water, and then for bathrooms and walls, it says use on a sponge and clean. Now, I tested both of these out. I started with my bathtub first. Now, let me tell you, my bathtub, there is scratches, there is gouges. This bathtub has been through 10 kids, not all my own, multiple adults, countless adults, and countless pets. It is over 20 years old. It will never look brand new. But it's still working, so I'm not replacing it yet. So there is some gouges and some scratches that will not come out in this bathtub, and you will see them a little bit more up close. But if it wasn't gouges or scratches, if it wasn't cosmetic, this cleaner really did clean everything up. I did mix it with a little bit of water, even though it says to just use it on a sponge when you're using it for bathrooms and walls. I did dilute it a little bit, and I think even later on I'll show I do walls with this too. I would even dilute it then. I don't think you need this at full strength. It doesn't say that it is a disinfectant at all on here. Now the first ingredient is water. So there's a lot of water in this bottle. Normally whatever the first ingredient is what the majority of the makeup is. So there's probably a lot of water in here. But weirdly enough, I looked up every other ingredient on the back of this bottle. There's a handful of them. And every single ingredient is known to be in detergents to clean your clothes. And so I looked up just out of curiosity if you can use this with your clothes. And they suggest that you do not. The website, the brand suggests that you do not. But I found it interesting that every ingredient is also found in your clothes detergents. So I found that that was interesting. The second ingredient on the bottle, after water, is the benzene, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's commonly used in shampoos and hair conditioners also, and it's also commonly used as a sanitation product to sanitize surfaces. And I find it interesting, though, that this Ajax on the bottle, nowhere that I see, doesn't say it sanitizes anything. So I find it interesting. It does have some sanitizing products in there, but it's not considered a sanitizer at all. We're not going to go through every ingredient on the back of the bottle. But the third one is fragrance, and this one does say it is lime with baking soda, and I will say it smells amazing. The smell lasted after I cleaned my bathtub, after I cleaned my floors. The smell lasted for quite some time after, especially because after a while I would think that it doesn't smell anymore, but then I would step outside of my house, I would step back in, you would smell it again. It does have a really good smell. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming like pine sol or even bleach would be, but it does have a good light scent. So if you are sensitive to fragrances, I do think Ajax, at least this one, I'm not sure about the other scents, I've just tried this one. I think Ajax would be a really good idea if you're sensitive to smells. Here I am trying it on one of my walls. Now, if I was to seriously clean my walls, I would not just use a sponge. I actually have a mop to clean my walls, but I was just testing out little spots, and it worked amazing on my walls also. It didn't take off any of the paint. It took off all of the dirt, whatever this black line was. I'm not sure what was there before that created this black line on my wall, but it took it off with no problem. But again, I would dilute it. It doesn't say to dilute it for walls, but I would. I think it works just as well diluted as it does at full strength. So it worked on my walls also. Let's talk about price point here. So I price compared this with Fabuloso from my local Walmart. At Walmart, you could get 56 ounces of Fabuloso for $4.47. Ajax, you get 16.9 fluid ounces for $1.25. So you could fit about 3 of these Ajaxes in one bottle of Fabuloso for only $3.75. So you definitely are getting a better value using the Ajax from Dollar Tree than buying Fabuloso at a local Walmart. So even the price comparison was pretty good, if that's what you like. Here goes my floor. You'll see a closer view in a second. Whenever it snows heavy here, a lot of salt and snow gets just attracted in my house for some reason. So before I even vacuum, because this salt will destroy my vacuum. It is the big pieces of salt around here. I like to mop, try to get up as much salt as I can. Then I'll vacuum and then I'll mop again. I only have to do this a handful of times a year. We don't get that much snow that this happens often, but when it does, I definitely mop, vacuum, mop. And I found out after I mopped that I really didn't have any salt left on my floor. I did run my hand by this floor later on after it dried. I didn't get any salt on my hand. So I still vacuumed and mopped though, it's just habit. But it really did work well on getting this salt off of my floor. So I'll say at the end, if I would add this to my list of cleaning products that I would use professionally. I do find a lot of clients really like their cleaners used, but there's a handful of clients that are like, let's test some new things out, let's see what I like here or there. And it's nice to have different scents, because some people can be sensitive to a certain scent. And so Ajax does have a lot of scents. I don't even remember at the beginning of the video if I showed the wall of different Ajax cleaners, but there is a lot of different scents, a lot of different colors to choose from. But overall, it worked really well. I would give it a 10 out of 10 on everything that I cleaned. Their slogan is stronger than dirt. I would have to agree with that. Okay, moving on to the next product. We're going to go over to the All-Purpose Cleaner. This is an all-purpose cleaner. It's made with plant-derived ingredients. But do you see that danger right there? Right under the plant-derived ingredients, it says can cause serious eye damage. Read carefully other cautions on the back panel. That did give me a minute to stop and read the whole bottle. I mean, you should no matter what. But I definitely stopped and read the whole bottle because that kind of worried me when you mix plant derivative ingredients with serious eye damage. I don't think I've ever seen a danger serious eye damage before, but I read this one. And so it says that it's great for use on glass, counters, tile, wood, and stone. So I started on the window first because I always need a window that needs to be clean. I have a dog. He likes to press his nose up to the windows. I always have a window that needs to be clean. So I started on the window first. I found this is a great product. I do love this smell. I think it's a great smell. It does linger for quite some time. It is not overwhelming. It worked really well on glass. I tried it on a few things. I will say it did not take any stuck on food off. I did have some food stuck on my oven from making crepes earlier in the day. So it definitely didn't take that off, but I didn't expect it to. It's just an all-purpose cleaner. It doesn't say that it's a disinfectant or anything on there. So I didn't expect it to work that hard to get stuck on food off. But I really did like it. I think the smell lasted for quite some time. The ingredients, again, the first ingredient is water. There's only a handful of ingredients on here, probably less than the Ajax, honestly. It was not hard to look up any of these ingredients and see what they do. None of them really left me with any concerns. The second ingredient coming behind water is Laureth10, which improves stability of a product, and that's probably why it's in there. But it is also found in shampoos, conditioners, and bubble baths. I found it interesting looking through these products and reading the ingredients and seeing what ingredients are common in all these products, which are also common in shampoos and conditioners and other things I just would not ever think of. I found it really interesting and I learned a lot. That is also probably the ingredient why this bottle has a warning, because it does come with a lot of warnings. When you look up that ingredient on its own, it could cause a lot of issues. The last ingredient we're going to talk about is the DM hydrating. This is to keep it from spoiling also. So I found it has more than one ingredient to keep it from spoiling, but I'm gonna guess that's needed because it not only has castor oil in there, but it also has orange flower oil. And I feel like after a while they would get pretty funky if they didn't have these products. So even though it only has few ingredients, I found that some of those ingredients are just to keep it from being spoiled. Overall, I did like the product. I think the bottle was a little messed up. It was really hard to spray it. The handle's so small and it moves so much. But the product inside was really good. I'll give my thoughts at the end on if I would add it or not to my product list. And no, I did not forget, I did price compare the all-purpose cleaner, and I'll tell you at the end, but it is a good value, long story short. But we're moving on to this carpet freshener. Now, I normally do not use carpet freshener. I feel like when my carpets start to get funky, it's time to shampoo them. But I understand carpet freshener would be great if you're having people suddenly come over and you just want to freshen up things. Great idea. This one is Island Breeze. It has lavender, apple blossom, jasmine, cedarwood, and coconut in there. You do get 20 ounces for $1.25. At my local Walmart, I price compared with Arm & Hammer, which is 30 ounces for $2.50. So, and right now it's on sale actually for $1.49, but we're not going to talk about the sale price. We're going to talk about the regular price. So you either get 30 ounces for $2.50 or 20 ounces for $1.25. So if we double that $1.25 price to meet the $2.50, you would get 40 ounces. So you even get a better deal with this carpet freshener too. I do think they work interchangeably. I wouldn't say I noticed Arm & Hammer better than this one or this one better than Arm & Hammer. But the smell didn't last long. I smelled it while I was vacuuming. About an hour later, I really didn't smell anything. Unless you were face the carpet, you really didn't smell it. And I don't know who would be rolling around on my carpet, but I really didn't smell it after a while. Do I think it worked? It did make my carpets look fresher, but my carpets need to be vacuumed anyway. There was dog hair everywhere. So it's not like they didn't need a vacuum. There is only 4 ingredients on this list, and one of those is fragrance, so take that out. The next one is baking soda, which you know helps with smells. Everybody loves baking soda when you clean, so that's really nice. You have sodium chloride, which is salt, and that can help in many things too, but I'm going to guess that they put it in here kind of as a filler for carpet cleaner. It can clean many other ways, but for carpets, I'm going to assume they put it in here as a filler, and it is the first ingredient on this list, so most of this is made up of that. And then the last ingredient is sodium sulfate, which is known as a filler in laundry detergent, so I'm not sure about that either. Maybe it's being a filler here also. I know that that is in a lot of other cleaners, but overall, I think it was, look at my carpet. It did work on the carpet, and it is a better deal than getting it anywhere else. So let's talk about these cleaners right off the start. Ajax, I would 100% add to my professional cleaning list. It's a great value, it smells really good, and it does really good cleaning. The all-purpose cleaner, I might add, but I would have to buy a different bottle, put it in, because that little handle is just way too much. You do get a good deal with the all-purpose cleaner. I did price compare with Walmart's all-purpose cleaner. You do get a better deal with this one. And then the carpet freshener, I probably wouldn't add to my list just because, again, I feel like when your carpets get funky, it's time to shampoo them. Now I just need to fix this bird that I broke.